What's going on, guys? It is your boy Philip from Defied Garage, and we are back with another brand new video. Now, if you guys see behind me, we have something different. We have not seen this car on the channel. This is my brother's F30 BMW 328. Now, this car has a problem. You may ask, what is the problem? Well, I will show you. Now, if you follow me around this way, you will see that if I try to start the car or turn on the power, I don't know if you can see that, but the screen looks all funky. I got these webs on it, like it's broken. So as you guys can see, the screen has webs, isn't really working very well. It doesn't really look good at all. So in order to fix this, we actually have a solution. I'll show you guys what we have right here. This is an Android car digital TFT LCD monitor. Now this is very similar to the one that is in my car that you guys have seen in previous videos. What we're gonna be doing is replacing it with this guy. Let's get right into it. First things first, always disconnect your battery. Battery is right there. We got to take off the negative terminal, which is that guy over there. Got myself a little fiber cloth so I can put the negative terminal on there. We're going to go ahead and unplug the negative terminal of the vehicle. Put the fiber cloth here so it doesn't go anywhere. You can leave the trunk open, doesn't matter. Now, meet you guys on the other side. All right, so now that you're in the car, the next step is to take this guy off. Now, I've heard it's pretty simple. I haven't tried, but we're gonna find out. So all you gotta do is just pull. Literally, just pull. Yep, very simple. Give it a little shake. It's not bad at all, guys. Pretty simple. Now you got one connector right here, two connectors. So let's go ahead and figure out how the heck to remove this guy. Okay, one connector out goes through this this part right here, the bottom. We'll take that out. Now this guy, we got this out and it was easy, like you guys just saw. And this is the part where it starts to get a little bit tricky. Cut that out. Now get your phone. Let's look at the tutorial. How to replace Bmw F30 navigation.
Robinhood Gold is offering 4.
Can't afford premium. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna close this little guy. So to get this faceplate of the control unit off, we're gonna have to take off this cover right here. So go ahead and so if you just put your hands kind of in here, you'll feel kind of how to get the clips out. So kind of just pull it just like that. Pretty simple, has a few clips and a connector. Just take that guy out. I believe it's just a plug. I don't think there's any tabs or anything. Yeah, it's just a plug. Now next step is going to be taking out these Torx screws. There's 4 of them here, 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 and then behind here there's going to be one wire harness we're going to have to remove. We're going to grab our Torx bit. Now I'm going to grab extension, my huge screwdriver. Now it's huge. Let's go ahead and get size matters. Torx T20. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it in big letters. T20. Remember, that's not very long. So that's what she said. We're gonna remove it now. Okay, the 4 bolts are out. Connector right there. Just like that. Pieces out. Go ahead and leave this in the rear. Take these 4 out. If your car does not have navigation, your car may or may not have this bottom plate, but if it does, make sure to remove that as well. So remove all 4 of these screws. How long are these damn screws? If I got an award for doing this, I'd have 1 award. Keep those separated. Now that this is out, let's pull this out slowly. Damn, that's heavy. Before we continue, let's go out and check out the new navigation and see the harnesses that come with that one so we know where they're all gonna go. All right, let's open up this navigation, see what we're looking at. Got this open, nice little packaging, instructions, don't need that. Here is the new screen, looks beautiful. And then you're presented with, I mean, a lot of cables, and they're wet. So you get these hefty cables here. Now, make this easier, we're gonna go ahead and bring all this into the car and we're gonna figure this out there. Let's pull this guy out like this, maybe leave it kind of at an angle like this. Now, next step, before we continue with this guy, we're gonna go ahead and remove the 2 screws for the actual screen. So there's 2 screws to get this screen out. We're gonna remove them, one right there, one right there. Now we can pull this guy up. Now that we're in a bit more of a comfortable position, let's slowly start sliding this up. There's a power cable on this guy. Let's get this guy out. To remove this, I'm gonna grab a flathead. So you have to grab this little tab right there. There's a little tab, you have to press it in, and then you have to pull straight up. And it's kind of tight of a pull, so it might be a little tough for you, but if you just pull it straight up, comes out just like that. This navigation now, you can go ahead and set this off to the side. You're not gonna need it anymore. What we're gonna do is we're basically just gonna connect everything to the screen at the top and figure out all of this wiring afterward where it's gonna kind of sit. So this connector needs to be up here as well. This is gonna be kind of hard to plug these into the navigation because it's gonna be a little annoying, but this guy also has to come all the way up there. To get this guy up, same way as you guys can see, we have to basically push somehow through all of these 1,000,000 wires, this connector here, all the way until we reach up here, which is super annoying because there's like 1,000,000 wires that are coming off of both of these connectors. That does not help at all. We're gonna try to plug everything up there in and then figure out any routing afterwards. So now that we have the navigation open, keep the screen protector on so you don't damage it. Take this navigation. We're gonna start plugging in all the cables where they go. This might be a little difficult because of how tight this space really is. Like, I can barely move that. You're not going to be able to see this very well, but basically all the white cables are going to go to these 3 slots. This purple one is going to go here to the green one, and this blue GPS cable will go here. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug that in, and I'll get back to you guys after because it's kind of hard to record and show this back area. All right, so I figured it's a lot easier to actually lay down the navigation like this and plug in the cables. So we got the purple one in right there. Just plugged in the GPS one, and now we're gonna go ahead and take this first white wire, and it kind of goes into this bottom slot. I believe it goes like this. Plug that in just like that. Now this is where the hard part kind of comes in because we still have the 2 other wire harnesses, including this one right here, which I believe is the most difficult. So let's try to figure out a better way to kind of get that guy up there. So I think we're gonna go through the same area here in the center because that seems like where most of the wire harnesses have to go through is the center area. Go ahead and lift this up, push this guy now here. There we go. And he goes in the very back, which means he clips in like this back here. All right, so I got those 2 cables in. That only leaves one other one, which is this guy, which is also not an easy one to get in because as you guys can see, we still have all these. And somehow we have to move them, and we gotta get this guy in there. We have to put it in the proper way because once it's up there, you can't twist it. So it has to go in like this. So pop it in backwards, technically, like that. Pull it up, get it on the screen, and let's get the screen back. Just like that. Now that this is done, these are all plugged in. You have to somehow feed them down while also getting the navigation in. You kind of have to push slowly to get the navigation to sit, and you might have to pull here a little bit on these cables to basically loosen the area. Now you might have to just wiggle it around a little bit till you can get these far enough down. It is a super tight fit, like I said, but you will be able to kind of move these around here, pull them down. And let's, you know, I think I plugged everything in. Everything looks to be plugged in. You can kind of feel this kind of bottoms out. Now let's go ahead and put back these 2 bolts that we took off of the navigation screen itself. We're gonna take this one first, tighten this guy, get it almost all the way tight, and then do the other one as well. Sorry about the audio in the previous clips. I forgot I took my hoodie off and that's where the mic was, but we just went ahead and tightened this navigation just like that. It's not really moving anymore. Make sure you tighten both the screws. Let's get back up here. Down here, we have what we call a shit show. There's so much stuff here So I went ahead and basically made this into a little coil, and I routed it back up to the top section of this. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this inside of this housing area here. So just toss it right over there. I'm gonna find a more permanent spot for that in the future, but for now, let's just leave. All we have left is 2 USBs. Now for these guys, not sure what we're gonna do with them yet. So for now, like I said, I'm just gonna leave them inside there. These right about that length, because we wanna put it inside the edge where I left the navigation piece as well. Just like that. Let's put that under and throw that inside over here. We can push that kind of underneath. As you guys can see, I kind of routed it underneath the vent line over here. This guy will come here, and this other connector will sit on this side. Now we are basically ready to put this unit back in. All right, so it is actually the next day. Now what happened is yesterday I wasn't able to finish everything just because I had a few things to attend to. But today we went ahead and turned on the vehicle with everything plugged in, minus the little air vent area with these 2 wires. Now what we're gonna be testing right now is actually the audio. Now according to the manual, there's 2 actual versions of the power cable that come from the original unit here, and one of the versions, there's basically 3 wires that are supposed to be plugged into a specific port. If your car has those wires, that means you will not need to do the audio out to audio into your OEM aux input. Now this car does not have those 3 wires. So if you're like me, don't have the 3 wires, you're going to have to route where the power cable is here. There's an audio out cable coming right off of it. You're gonna have to route this audio out aux wire that comes with your aftermarket navigation, or you can use any aux cable. It doesn't really make a difference. We went ahead and plugged it in right here, and then you're gonna basically just test it out by plugging it in to the aux in. Now we're just doing this just for test, but we're actually gonna route it underneath to make it look a lot nicer. Now if we go ahead and go onto the navigation itself, you can see it does turn on. This is the first time you guys will see it on, but we just basically turned it on for the first time. And we're gonna go ahead and go, I guess they have random music here, so we can go ahead and just click that, but we'll go ahead and just turn up and see if it plays. And as you guys can see, you do hear the volume, and if I were to unplug this aux, it stops. Now that most likely means, just like I said, that your car specifically doesn't have those 3 wires that are basically allowing the navigation to work with your OEM system without having the aux cable plugged in. Now, because of that, we're gonna actually figure out now how to route this, because you don't wanna have the aux wire just kind of hanging out, because clearly you have to close all this. So because the car is actually on already, what we're gonna do is test one more thing. Now this car comes with factory a rear view camera. So we're gonna go ahead and test it out and see if I put it in reverse, will the camera show up or not? So if I go ahead and hold the brake, put it in reverse, you guys can see the camera is here. Now there may be a chance that right here, as you guys can see, I know this formatting of the OEM iDrive system needs to be figured out, but as you guys can see, there's a little check mark right there. That means that the camera is enabled. So if yours doesn't show any camera, you can go ahead and just click that and it'll disable that camera. Now, if you go ahead and click it again, you'll see the camera is enabled. So the camera works, the sound works, basically everything works. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna take this aux cable, figure out how to route it through all this area here to get it into here. Preferably, we're gonna have to figure out how to get it somehow through here. We might have to drill a hole. We might have to take this out. I'm not 100% sure yet, but once we figure that out, I will show you, and then get that plugged in. And once that's done, we can officially close all this up. All right. So we figured out a way basically to get the aux cable in here. Now what we did is first we took off this trim piece. Pretty easy. You just take a pry tool and basically start prying it from one end or the other. Doesn't really matter which side. And then basically you just lift it off. We already took this off, so I'm just showing you guys the piece. Same thing goes for this guy right here under the shift knob. You basically just align a pry tool in there, and there's like a tiny gap, and you can basically pry it off. It's pretty simple. It's all just clips. There's no screws, no nothing, just clips. You can go ahead and set that stuff off to the side. And what we did to get the aux cable in is actually, you can actually route it under this plastic piece. So if you just pull this piece out, so if you push it in through here underneath, you'll actually eventually be able to see it right inside there, because it'll run along this wall and then it comes out over here. You want to give it about a good amount of length, because we're actually going to route it underneath and get it through this guy, which also can be pried out, but currently it's being held by connectors that are the aux in and the USB. And then the other side, basically same thing, gets pushed up through here and it basically enters into the inside of the dash, which is how we have it back here. Now we're gonna go ahead and attach it into this, and we're gonna start into this aux out, and we're gonna start closing all this up and then worry about the aux cable at the end over here. All right, so we got the aux cable plugged in right here. We pushed some of the wires in the back down so that we can actually get this radio unit in, because it's a super tight fit. But as you guys can see, we're gonna start trying to put it in. So make sure this wire, there's a little indent that this wire comes out of, so make sure you just leave it in the indent when you're putting the unit back, and then you can go ahead and start pressing in. You can kind of feel it. It should slowly go in, and if you're having trouble, that most likely means you have to adjust the wires, which is what we're probably gonna have to do. But you basically have to get this unit all the way back here, so we're gonna work on that for a little bit and try to get it in, because all you have to do is just work on the wiring in the back, kind of push them down, find space for them, and you can go ahead and push the unit back in. So basically what was causing this to not go in was there's actually a fuse box that comes with the aftermarket navigation. We went ahead and pushed it kind of down into the bottom of the dash area down here. So that is how we got the media player to actually fit back down in here. Now you can go ahead, if there is a little bit of space, basically what you do is now you can start tightening up the screws slowly, and the media should just basically press itself in. So go ahead and start tightening them all together. I'm gonna go ahead and do like a cross pattern a little bit, tighten that guy in. You don't have to tighten them all the way just yet. You can do all of them just about snug until you get it entirely put in. So I'm gonna go ahead and tuck all these wires kind of back behind there. There's like a little area I can kind of push them into, just like that. And we're gonna try to do the same with these guys. There's a little bit more thick wires here, so it might be a little harder. All right, I think that should be good. And then these two wires are gonna go to our actual other piece. So up next, we're gonna basically put this control media area on first. So we're gonna go ahead and plug in this guy right here. It's just one connector, just like that. And then just make sure you align it just like that. It's really pretty hard to misalign this. And then get your bolts, start putting them in. Go ahead and tighten all 4 bolts, and I will get back to you guys when that is done. All right, so got that buttoned up. All the bolts are tight. Next thing is this cover right here. Pretty simple cover. All you're gonna do is basically take this connector, make sure the low LED is facing down, and basically clip it in just like that. That's it, clipped in. Push this on the bottom first and push it in. That's it, simple and easy. For the last piece, we have this connector and this one. Now, first connector is this bottom one right here. We're gonna go ahead and plug that guy in. So it goes over this. Make sure you got the right orientation. Clip that in. Now, last thing to do is you have to align this pretty well so you can get the vents in. Part may be a little difficult, but all right, so now that we got this all closed up here, next up we are going to, so now I'm gonna put this cover on because we don't need it anymore. You're just gonna align it, make sure it's aligned everywhere, feel it close, just like that, all good to go. Now all that's left is to get this aux cable in here, but we have to get it in through here. So we're gonna figure out now how to basically push it in. All right, so we got this big drill bit right here, as you guys can see, and it actually fits the diameter of the aux like back portion. So what we're gonna do is basically drill a hole that big so we can run the aux right through there, and that way we won't have to cut any big holes. It's just one circular hole. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that, see how that looks. We're gonna go ahead and drill that and see how it looks. As you guys can see, got a nice little hole right there. Looks good. Now we can go ahead and do a little fit test with it. All right, so we're back in. My brother's got the aux right there. We're gonna test fit it All right, so as you guys can see, it's almost in there, but we're just gonna have to elongate the actual hole a little bit just to make it fit. So we're gonna go do that and I'll get back to you guys as soon as that's done. All right, so what we're gonna do now that we have our hole here, elongated oval hole, we're gonna basically push this aux through here, just like that. And then we also have to basically get it somewhere over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to reach and kind of feel for the aux over here, and then just kind of feed it through until you can feel it on the other end. Almost there. There we go. Just like that. Fed it through. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to push it into this housing. All right, easy as nothing. Now that this wire is in, you can go ahead and plug your connectors back. First guy, just like that. Second guy, same thing. Line up the holes and push. Now we can pull this kind of in. Go ahead and line this up just like that. You can push this back, move it. I'm just gonna route it exactly like that. Perfect. And that is it. This right here is done. Close it up. And for the final piece, we're gonna put this guy back. Actually, we're gonna have to lift that. We're gonna put this guy back. You guys might not be able to see this. Just like that. Place this in its given slot. There we go. And as you guys can see, that is the complete navigation install tutorial. Now, if you guys do have any questions, any concerns regarding the navigation install, just leave them down in the comments or just message me on Instagram at Defied Garage. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Comment any questions or concerns, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.